In the name of Allah, most merciful, most compassionate. Hello, dear students, how are you? I hope you are okay and doing very well. This is Hazm Shwan from Mishkat School, and this is the Traveler 2 course for the secondary students. Module 3, page 41 in the student book, and page 33 in the workbook. Before I start, dear students, I'd like to remind you and myself of the hygienic procedures set by the Ministry of Health here in Saudi and by the WHO, or the World Health Organization, that we have to follow these hygienic procedures. We have to wash our hands regularly with the soap and water if we don't have alcohol, and we have to wear masks, especially when you go out and talk to new people, especially when those people sneeze or cough. Try to maintain a distance between you and them, right? Try not to touch your ear, your mouth, your nose, or even your eyes, right? Try to reduce going out to the minimal. Okay, as we know now, we are under the curfew for 21 days. It started from yesterday. Okay, from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. So stay home. Try to stay home. Okay, and watch watch Netflix, right? And study as well. Don't forget that. At last, I pray to Allah to protect us all from this virus and keep us safe in these special circumstances or hard moments. This is what I'd like to tell you first. And now to our lesson, right? We have here our lesson 3D, I quit, under the title I quit. We have the vocab on page 41, vocab section, and the grammar section, right? Don't forget that we have only page 41 in this part, right? And after that, in the next lesson, inshallah, we have this round of page 44 only, right? In the student book and workbook. Back to our lesson. Here in the vocab, we have jobs, right? We have 3 different types of jobs. We have here the emergency service. Emergency means when you are in danger. Okay, this is the emergency services or emergency jobs we have. We have, first of all, we have the paramedic or paramedic, right? Paramedic or paramedic, someone who is, we'll find him at the ambulance, who cares for you when you have an accident, when you have a fire, or something like this. Okay, we have the lifeguard here, as you see from the picture. We find him on the beach or on the swimming pool. Okay, saving people who need help. Saving people who need help, right? Who need help. Rescue squad. The rescue squad means the group. Squad means a group of people who rescue people in danger. So when some people on fire or in accident or floods maybe, okay, the rescue squad with the helicopter, okay, try to save people, as you see from the picture, right? The second type of jobs we have, the media. Okay, when I say media, I mean TV, newspapers, magazines, and even the social media, right? First of all, we have the journalist. Journalist means someone who writes for a newspaper. Okay, and we have the news reader or news reader, right? We can say news reader, American pronunciation, and say news reader, the British pronunciation, right? Someone who reads the news on TV or radio. We have the cameraman here. Cameraman means someone who operates the camera, as you see, to video in movies or shows or even shows. We have the construction here. Construction means building, right? Building sites. We have the first job we have is builder. Someone who builds walls and things like this. I use the bricks, right, to build the wall or houses. We have here the painter, and painter means someone who paints walls, or the painter is someone who paints walls, okay, and with different colors, right? We have here the plumber. So the B is silent here. The B is silent, so say plumber, someone who fixes the sinks, as you see from the picture, okay, the pipes, water, bathrooms, and so on. We have some extra jobs here, okay. I'd like to add. So we have some extra jobs related to construction. First of all, The first job we have is a carpenter. Carpenter is someone who makes things from wood. Okay, so if you would like to make a table, a chair, or even a stool, you can call the carpenter, right? You can see the translation here for in the hyperlink, right? Its meaning in Arabic in the hyperlink. Now with the electrician. Electrician means someone who fixes the power failure or the breakdown of power in your houses. So electrician or technician who works with electricity, right? You can find the translation, okay, in the hyperlink. Elevator mechanic. Elevator mechanic means someone who is responsible for fixing or mending the lift. The elevator means that thing takes us from the downstairs to the upper stairs, right? So this someone, okay, if you have any breakdown, okay, at the lift or elevator, you can call the elevator mechanic. We have the estimator here. Estimator means someone who gives you the price or estimate the price or value of something. So if you'd like to know the price of something, if you'd like to know the value, the quantity of something, you can call the estimator, right? Defenser or fence erector means someone who installs fences around building sites or the building locations. We have here the flooring installer. Flooring installer means someone who install flooring or things from made from plastic on the floor, right? So this is the flooring installer. We have here the foreman. Foreman means a supervisor, but supervisor for a group of workers, right? So this is the foreman who gives us their tasks and so on. This is at the beginning of the day. This is the foreman. Sorry. We have here the glazier. Glazier means someone who works with glass, right? So this is the glazier, person who is trained fitting glass. So if you have a piece of glass and you'd like to fit it to the window, to the door, to any place, you can call the glazier, right? We have here the HVAC tech or HVAC technician. H means heating, and V is ventilation, and AC for air conditioning technician. So if you have any any failure with your AC, you can call the HVAC technician, right? Insulation or insulation worker. You can say insulation or insulation worker. This is someone whose job is to install or replace the material used to insulate buildings. So especially in the places where we find a lot of rains, and when we find the weather is humid, we need the insulation worker to insulate our houses and walls, right? The iron worker or iron worker, you can say iron or iron worker, someone who works with iron, right? This we find in the new building sites. We have here labor. Labor means a worker, but an unskilled worker, right? Unskilled worker. So he works for wages. Wages means the money he gets by the end of the day or by the end of the week, not salary. Mason. Mason means a builder. So mason means a person who's skilled in cutting, dressing, and laying stones in buildings, right? We have here, so he is similar to the builder, but the builder works with the small bricks, but the mason, right, works with the stones or blocks of stones, right? We have the blasterer. The blasterer who's someone who applies cement or plaster to the walls, right? So this is the plasterer, right? Right, to decorate not to decorate, but to apply cement to the walls, and then comes the mission or the task of the painter who decorate the wall. We have here the plumber, pipe fitter, or steam fitter. So they are almost similar to each other. Okay, those who work with the pipes or water, sewage, and things like this, right? We have here the safety manager. Safety manager is someone who's responsible for the safety of workers or people in the building site, right? If you'd like to stay safe, we have to have a safety manager at the building site. We have the welder here. Welder means someone who joins two pieces of metal together. This is the welder, right? We have here some jobs related to media. First one is author. Author means a writer, right? Right, someone who writes a book. It's a different word for a writer. Okay, they are a bit different, but it's okay. It's not time here to show the difference between author and writer. So we have editor here. Editor means someone who works with the or gives the organization or the organizing or organizes, someone who organizes the columns, pictures, and so on in a newspaper or even a show, right? We have here newspaper, magazine, or even a book, right? Director is someone who's responsible for some actors and the stuff or the stuff, okay, the stuff of the film or the play, right? This is the director, right? So he's the big wig or the big boss at the movie. Or the my favorite director is James Cameron. You know him. We have here the graphic designer. Okay, the rest of the word is in the second page. Graphic designer, you know its meaning. Okay, someone who works with the graphic, right? We have here a writer, and the writer, someone who writes, okay, for a newspaper, for a magazine. Okay, we have the announcer. The announcer is someone who introduces or gives information on TV, right, or radio. We have the reporter. Reporter is someone who works outside the studio. Don't forget that. The reporter works outside the studio to give you the news and give you live from the site of the accident or the fire, or anywhere. We have the interviewer. Interviewer is someone who interviews celebrities or stars in the studio just to make interviews with them. We have here the producer, right? This is the interviewer. It's meaning in Arabic. Producer means someone who's responsible for the money, for the financial aspects, okay, in the film, movie, or even a show. We have the commentator. My favorite commentator is Raouf Khalif and Assam Shawali. So commentator means someone who commentates on sports on a sports, okay, yes, on sports or matches, right? So this is the main commentator. We have here the interpreter or translator. They have almost they have the same meaning. So someone who interprets or translate. So you can say translator or translator, right? Give you the translation or interprets, right? What the others say, okay? What the other says, from one language to another, from English to Arabic and so on, from Arabic to English and so on. We have here blogger. Blogger is someone who writes materials for a blog. Blog means a website, special website on the internet. We have here some jobs related to emergency services. The first one, emergency dispatcher. Dispatcher is someone who receives calls, right? Who receives cells in the office and receives calls, okay, of accidents, fires, and so on, and send people or vehicles. Vehicles means the ambulances here to where they need help, right? This is the emergency dispatcher. We have here nurse. Nurse, you know its meaning, okay? Someone, male or female, take care of people or sick, or the sick in a hospital, okay? We have the firefighter. Firefighter, someone who works, or his job is to extinguish or put out fires. We have here the emergency coordinator. The emergency coordinator, is responsible for technical and administrative duties that help with emergency. This is the coordinator. The last word we have is COVID-19. COVID-19, it's not a job, but I intend to give you the meaning of this expression because we watch it every day in news and on sites on the internet. COVID is for the coronavirus disease 2019. So the CO for corona, VI for virus, and D for disease, right? So 19 means 2019 when this disease, the coronavirus, outbroke in China, in the city of Wuhan, right? Let's go back to our lesson. We have here the grammar section, right? The past perfect and the past simple. Here we have I made you a simple comparison between the two tenses, right? Here we have the past perfect, and we have here the simple past, or the past simple, right? We have the form here. First of all, we have the form. Okay, what's the form of the past perfect? Had plus verb 3. Had written, had spoken. But here in the past simple we have verb 2. So what's the form? Verb 2. Wrote, spoke, not written, but wrote. Not spoken, but spoke, right? Secondly, we have the usage. Usage, the first usage of the past perfect is to describe something happened before something else in the past, right? Here we will go to the timeline. As you see, we are here, right? This is the present. Now we are here, right? This is the past, but we have two actions here in the past. Okay, someone or a tense happened first. This is the past perfect, and we have a tense happened secondly. So we have two tenses in the past, or two actions in the past. The first one is the past perfect, and the second one is the past simple. So which one is farther or farther? Okay, the past perfect. Which one is nearer or closer to the present? The past simple. Okay, this is the timeline. Back to our lesson, right? This is the meaning of this expression. After I had finished my homework, I watched TV. So I had finished my homework. This happened first. Then you watch it TV. So this is past simple, and this is past. Okay, perfect. Whereas the past simple usage completed action in the past. So I met Ali last week, right? You met him, and it's finished, right? It has no relation with the present time. A series of completed actions in the past. So when you tell a story, you can use the past simple. Okay, I finished school, went home and had lunch, watched TV, and so on. So when you tell a story, you can use the past simple. When you have a series of completed actions in the past, you can use the past simple. When negative, use had plus verb. No, hadn't. So you add not, right, to had plus verb 3. Hadn't. I hadn't met him. Didn't. Okay, plus verb 1. Don't forget that verb 1, not verb 2, right? I didn't meet, not didn't met. I didn't meet, right? I didn't go, and so on. We have here the question. For the question, we start with had, then the subject, then verb 3. Had you, had Ahmed, had he, had they, broken, gone, written, spoken, and so on. So this is the verb 3. Did plus what? Plus subject and verb 1. Did you meet him? This is the question, right? So don't forget that we have did, subject, and verb 1, not verb 2, right? Verb 1. Here we have the time expressions of the keywords of the past simple: after, before, when, as soon as, sorry, until, etc. For the past simple, we have yesterday, last ago, etc. Okay, we have some other words, as we know, but okay, these are the most known words or keywords. Here we have the past perfect simple and some examples for it, and we have the past perfect simple to give you the form. So what's plus the past participle? We use have or had. Had, very good. Then we have what happened, okay, before another action, means that the past perfect happened first, right? Then we have here the form, the affirmative form, the negative, and the question, right? Here we have the usage and the time expressions: already, ever, never, just, why, before, after, when, by, the time. Okay. Note that when we answer the past simple and past perfect exercise or fill in the spaces like this, that note that you have to decide which happened first and which happened next, right? Which happened first? This is the past perfect. What happened next? With action number 2, this is the past simple, right? So I started my conversation here with, hey William, space you space take the car to the garage today. So we start our conversation with, okay, past simple. So did you take, right? So we say, did you take this first, because we started our conversation here. Then to the next one, yeah, okay, but listen to this. When I got, right, when I got there, they had it closed for lunch. Why is had it closed and got here? Because this is the first action. They had it closed first, then you got there, right? So they had it closed before, okay, you got there, right? So you had the restaurant, they had it closed, okay? So the garage, sorry, they had it closed before you got there. So this number one, they closed, and number two, you got there, you arrived there, right? This is the series of actions here. As you know, I parked outside and went for a walk. Then I remembered, right? These are the okay, series of actions, right? So using I remembered what, that I had left my wallet. Why is had left here? Because this is number one. You remembered first. You remembered what? That you had left. So you left your wallet. You had left your wallet first, and keys in the car. This number one action. This is the action number one, right? But you remember after that, right? That's very good. I ran. So you use the past simple here. The past simple. What? I was shocked, but then I realized what had happened. You realize it, what had happened. So what had happened first, then you realize, like remembered, I remembered that I had left. I realized that what had happened, and so on. The mechanic, had taken the car inside to fix it, right? So the mechanic said, this is the action number two as well. So what had happened, and after I got there, the mechanic had taken the car inside to fix it without asking. Well, he saw the keys. We have a number of actions here without any arrangements. So he saw the keys in the car and thought it was to take it. This is for the student book. Now to the workbook. We have here a number of exercises. You have to answer this one, A, B, C, right? These are the answers of B. If you'd like to copy, or of A, sorry, if you'd like to copy them, so copy them quickly. Stop the video and copy them, right? The previous exercise related to the vocab section, and here we have the section related to the grammar section. Write or copy the answers in your box, right? You can stop the video, and copy the answers in your book. To the next, or to the second question, which needs more concentration. You have to pay me attention while I answer the first two or three examples. Here we have to join the sentence using the words, the given words, and these the words here, and the change, you make any necessary changes. The first one here, he lost the file, then he got fired. So which action happened first? He lost the file, this number one, then he got fired. So this is the number two, this number one. Number one is past perfect, so he had lost the file. He got fired, this is the past simple, so it's still as it not changed, right? So he got fired after he had lost the file. Don't forget that we use after before the past perfect, after he had. But if we have before or by the time, we can use it here. So before he got fired, he had lost the file. By the time he got fired, he had lost the file, right? Khalid finished reading the book, then his parents came to visit. So Khalid finished reading the book, this number one. Then what happened, number two? So this what happened, number two, came to visit. His parents came to visit. So we put this in the past perfect. So Khalid had finished. His parents came, no change, right? Because it's past simple, already past simple. So you say by the time, as we said, by the time, we use it here. So by the time his parents came to visit, Khalid had finished reading the book, right? Let's check. Khalid had finished reading the book by the time his parents came to visit, right? So we use by the time before the second action, before the past simple, right? Peter called the plumber, then he went to work. So we use before. Before is similar to by the time. So we use it here before this part. Peter had called, because this is the first action. Peter had called the plumber, before he went to work, right? So Peter had called the plumber before he went to work. This is after. After is unlike before. We use it before the first action. I drank the coffee or coffee. can use coffee or say coffee or coffee, right? Then I realized it wasn't mine. So use after. After I had drunk the coffee, I realized it wasn't mine. So I realized it. Okay, so he put this sentence at the beginning, no problem. After I had drunk it. Okay, after I had drunk, sorry. Right? This is the using of after. So I use after before, okay, the first action, had drunk. Okay. I'll give you the answers here of the rest of the exercise. Stop the video and copy them in your workbooks, right? This is our lesson for today, and inshallah I hope you watch it, and I hope you answer the electronic homework and the school site. That's all for today. Till next time, inshallah. Have a nice time, and goodbye.